breaking out, I'm breaking in. I just can't help this state I'm in. I'm on my way, y'all. So put your shades on, this light's so bright, it's blinding. I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love, I'm radiating love. Breaking free, I'm breaking ground. I can't explain this thing I found. The clouds have moved on. I got my groove on. This pep in my steps infectious. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I've been stuck in a rut. I've been shit out of luck. I've been wondering what is up with me. And then I realized it's up to me to decide. I can just be radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love. I'm radiating love.
You are an irresistible magnet with the power to attract unto yourself everything that you desire. Do you understand that? Can you take that to heart? That is a wonderful thing. You're a magnet. What you desire, what you want to have, there it is. You are the magnet. So excited you're here. Welcome to the New Thought Spiritual Center Sunday celebration. We are back online only. So if anyone has shown up in the Burbank area, turn around. Sorry. Things are happening in Los Angeles. So for safety's sake, we decided to go 100% virtual once again. But we are so happy that you are here joining us. I want to start out also to thank the Reverends Barbara and Gary Oltman, who took over for me while I was on holiday. And I will be talking about that, not today, but next week, a few of the things that happened during my summer vacation in winter. And it was quite fabulous, actually. We had a great time. We went to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And for those of you who know Reverend Doug LeBeau, that's one of his favorite places, which helped us influence why we went there. But I'll talk about some of that stuff next week. So welcome. As I said, we are so happy that you are with us, that you are bringing your consciousness and melding it with ours. It's very powerful. I can feel it. I can feel you all out there, even those who are watching later. I feel that energy, that vibration is already here because you've already planned, just like the experiences you want to bring into your life. You've already planned to watch this later today, Sunday, or maybe a few days later in the week. I can already feel that energy of that decision that you've made. So, Who is the New Thought Spiritual Center? What are we all about? Watch this. It's our statement of principles. And as many of you know, we always highlight one of the statement of principles. And this month, which way am I going? This way. We are highlighting our vision statement, which is to vibrate at the speed of the divine. Isn't that exciting? Vibrate at the speed of the divine. And you probably can't see the little quote I have on the banner below here because it doesn't come into camera. But what it says is, the eye with which I see God is the same with which God sees me. Cool, huh? That's a Meister Eckhart quote. Meister Eckhart was a Catholic mystic in the Middle Ages, and he has many more wonderful quotes that we use now and again, but this one goes with our mission statement. So vibrating at the speed of the divine. What does that mean? I'm going to be talking in my talk today a lot about energy, and when you vibrate at the speed of the divine, that is the greatest speed there is. That is the power, the energy that illuminates us, that divine energy. And you can call it whatever you want. You can get all scientific about it. You don't have to be spiritual about it. But there's this divine power. There's this energy in the universe. This energy, the scientists may call it the Big Bang. But that energy, that singularity that created everything, that is still moving now. That is still happening now. The universe is still expanding and moving and changing, and we just don't have the technology yet. I know they're about to, or they just sent up a new camera similar to the Hubble telescope, but a new, more powerful telescope has either been sent up or is about to be sent up, a multi-billion-dollar expedition. And this will reach into the depths of our universe even more than we have already. And we will discover new things, new ways, new ideas of how the universe and the power within it from that singularity, from that Big Bang, vibrated and continues to vibrate, creating more and more and more of the universe. We can tap into that. And that's what our vision statement is. That's what we're about. That's why we're here, to take the tools, teach the tools, live the tools of vibrating at the speed of the divine. Now, you may have noticed a couple of weeks ago, I started messing with our order of service, as they call it. I just like to keep things fresh. I'm experimenting with new ways to do our Sunday celebration. So in that vein, I want to bring on why I talk about our vision statement, other than letting you know or reminding you so that you can bring that into your life. When you support us in many ways, by watching us, of course, and by subscribing, etc., on social media, there's also the treasure, sharing your treasure. You're not sharing your treasure because you liked my talk, although that might be a nice reason, and I appreciate that. You're not sharing your treasure with the New Thought Spiritual Center because we have bills to pay, which we, of course, do, and your support, of course, allows us to do that. We are asking you to have love offerings and to share your treasure because of this. Because this is what you're supporting. You're not supporting me. You're not supporting the New Thought Spiritual Center bills and insurance and all that stuff. You're supporting us getting this word out, us teaching and inspiring all of you and others how to vibrate at the speed of the divine, and to do that every day. So here's a little video for you to watch, for you to
Let us place our hands on our hearts and together declare our love offering blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you for your blessed love offerings.
Great. So now that we got some of the business out of the way, so to speak, let us step into our sacred space. And I want to talk about that a little bit before we get into that this morning. We're going to, can you see that? The Divine Feminine Oracle cards. We're going to get into one of those this morning during our guided meditation. I just wanted you to know when I don't just, sometimes I just make it up off my head, but today we're going to use one of the cards because I love these cards. So every once in a while, I like to bring them out and bring them into our guided meditation. So let us take a deep breath together and step into our sacred space. Here we go. At this time, we enter into our sacred space, opening our heart and mind to awaken the highest and deepest part of our divine selves. In it, we plant the seeds of our greatest adventure, nurturing them with the water of faith in the soil of spirit, calling in wisdom from ancient times to quantum science. Let us now transcend time and space into the grace, love, and power of the universe. And so we take a deep breath once more together. Let's hold it in. Once we take that breath within our nose, 3, 2, 1, and then release it through your mouth. Once again, slowly inhale through your nose. Hold it. Allow that energy, that oxygen, that divine love go through your entire body, and then let it out through your mouth. And one more time together, inhale. Allow that pineal gland to open up. Accept your love, your grace, your power, your breath, and let it out through your mouth. And go ahead and slowly breathe normally as you would. Uncross your legs if they're crossed. Put your both feet on the ground. We like to touch the ground as close as we can to the ground, considering we're in our homes, most of us. And what we're going to do is allow the energy of the earth, the Mother Gaia, come up through our feet. And just imagine it. If you haven't felt that before, if you haven't done that before, just imagine it, allow it, open yourself to it. This energy, this love from the Mother Earth rising up our legs. You may feel a tingling, a vibration. Just allow this energy to reach to the bottom, the base of your spine, and then just let it drop. And if you can't feel that, just tell it to drop down back to the earth. This is a circulation of power, of energy, of love from the planet of which we live, energizing us and we it. And now from all around us, though some think it's from above us, but it's all around us, let that cosmic energy, that God energy, that divine energy come down upon you and around you like the rays of the sun on a beautiful sunny day. And it doesn't have to be a sunny day for you to feel that energy, to feel that warmth, that heat, that love, that grace that flows from around us through the top of our heads, warming flow down our face and neck, down our arms, out our fingers, this beautiful, beautiful energy, reaching our hearts, the warmth, vibration, the illumination, and finally flowing down our spine till it reaches the base and connects itself, communes itself with the Mother Gaia energy. The card that I randomly pulled today is Swati, the goddess of self-knowledge. She represents knowledge of who we are so that nothing impedes the flow of creativity from the soul. Her name is a fusion of the Sanskrit words for essence and one self. Swati's name translates then as the one who leads to the essence of self-knowledge. Part of the Hindu goddess trinity, the Tridevi, together with Parvati and Lakshmi. You can find her mentioned in the Rig Veda, collection of ancient sacred texts from the 1500s before the Common Era. She is sometimes referred to as the mother of the Vedas, a river goddess. When we are aligned with the essence of who we are, then what needs to be communicated through us, whether with words or music or artwork or love, can flow. When our creativity feels blocked or stagnant, it isn't because the waters have dried up. No, that's not possible, though we may fear that. The truth is that self-awareness is the key to unlocking our creative flow. When we take the time to return to the essence of who we really are and nurture that essence, we realign once again with the river of expression that the soul generates. Saraswati is the reminder that anything we create that purifies us in the process of making it a blessing. We create that. Our art should be judged not on popularity, but on its power to transform us. That is the physical art, the art of living, the art of experiencing our spiritual self. Swati is a call to return to the essence of our true self. The energy of her card is a charge for more self-knowledge, more awareness of our unique soul and what our needs are in this moment. She leads us back into that finely attuned space where we can express with ease and grace what the soul desires most to share. And that energy feels like a river moving through us. It heals, it liberates, and it inspires others to return to their own essence as well. What is one word to describe the essence of my true self? What is your answer to that? What is one word to describe the essence of your true self? Breathe in and allow that word to echo for this next minute. All right. Take a deep breath with me once again. And as well as that word echoing through your mind, remember this: the essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly open your eyes. Return to the eye-opening version of your sacred space. And like I say almost every week, sacred space is something you create. It doesn't have to be in the form of an altar, although those are lovely. It can be anywhere, at any time, with any noise around you. It's bringing our sacred space into the chaos that sometimes is around us in our life. That's where the real power is, where you can vibrate at the speed of the divine. By the way, did you see these beautiful flowers that PJ put together for us this morning? I want to show you a picture of the card of Swati, just so you can look at these beautiful cards. Swati. So thank you, Megan Watterson, who created the Divine Feminine Oracle cards. So this week, starting tonight, we have a new affirmative incantation for you. This affirmative incantation, which you will find up in the screen in a moment, is what you want to use every morning when you first get up. Just get up, open your eyes, reach for that where you might have written it down, or go on to social media here on Facebook or on YouTube, and you'll see in the description of this week's Sunday celebration what you are looking at right now, and repeat that. And give yourself a couple of minutes. Don't just read it out loud. Give yourself a couple of minutes. And then again, right before you go to sleep, say these words. So here is our affirmative incantation for this week. It is in my best interest to remember that the power is within me right now. It is in my best interest to know the universe always has my back. It is in my best interest to be aware of my talents, allies, and opportunities and cultivate them. It is in my best interest to not worry about the future, but to make the future I have decided to have. It is in my best interest to focus on joy, love, and respect being present in my life right now. I think, feel, and act in my best interest all day. That is for you. Enjoy that all week. I'd love to hear it, and you can always come back and put it in the comments of this broadcast later on in the week, how this has affected you. Love to hear about that. How this affirmative incantation affected your life this week, affected your perspective on life this week. Let me know. Contact us, or you can contact me through email if you like, revj@newthoughtsc.org. So that is our affirmative incantation for the week. So, L'chaim, can take a little drink here. I want to tell you a story. Jesus, Moses, and an old man go golfing. And the first one to tee off is Moses. And Moses, he smashes that ball, and it is heading right for the water hazard, the one that's before the green, in case you aren't golfers. And that's not good. You don't want to go into the water hazard. So the ball is going towards that, and Moses, takes this big stance, and he spreads his arms, and he raises his arms, club in hand, and the water parts, and the ball rolls through it and makes it to the green 40 inches from the hole. Not bad. Jesus, Yeshua, he gets up to swing, and he cranks it out, and it too is headed for the water hazard. And Jesus raises his arms, closes his eyes, and prays. And the ball just skips across the water and lands on the green 2 feet from the hole. Next up is the old man. He comes to take his turn. And he takes his stance, and he drives that ball. And once again, the ball looks like it's going to drop directly into that water hazard, like the two other guys. But just before it splashes down, a fish jumps up from out of the water and swallows the ball. But before it could land and return back to the pond, an eagle drops down from the sky, grabs the fish, and begins to fly over the green with the fish in its mouth. And just then, out of nowhere, a bolt of lightning strikes the eagle, making it drop the fish onto the green. And as the fish hits the green, its mouth opens, it spits out the ball, and the ball rolls straight into the hole. A hole in one. Jesus shakes his head. He turns to Moses and he says, I really think I'm leaving Dad at home next time. Now, I know that's kind of a fun, silly story, but, that's basically how the universe works. You put an idea out there, and a fish swallows your golf ball or your idea, and an eagle grabs the fish and flies over the green, and lightning strikes the eagle, and then the eagle drops the fish, your idea. The fish lands and spits out the ball, which rolls into the hole, and bingo, your manifestation comes into form, comes into your life experience. We study first cause. We use the Science of Mind book. We use many other wisdoms from ancient times to modern times. But we study first cause. We study spirit. We study mind, or that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes. The power back of all creation. The thing itself, as Ernest Holmes would say. We study it to understand it and to learn to use it for our greatest good, right? To manifest what it is, to create what it is we want in our life, the experiences we want. In our studies, we find out that the universe is an equal opportunity provider. Universal principles are never respecters of persons. The universe has no favorites. The universe reacts to my beliefs and my intentions just the same as yours. No one's better, no one's worse. We're all equal, we're all one. We also learn that divine nature isn't everything, right? I was talking about that earlier. It's all energy. It's all energy. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being, and since it partakes of the nature of the divine being, each and every one of us, we are divine. We are divine in our lives. We are the gods of our life, to the degree that we have decided to take control. Now, science says it in a similar way, but of course, usually a non-spiritual way. And here's something for Carl Sagan. He wanted us to know this. We are a way for the universe to know itself. Some part of our being knows this is where we came from. We long to return. And we can, because the cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. Tesla said that. Einstein said something similar to that. It's all, it's all energy. It's all frequency. It's all vibration. So you can use the scientific words or you can use the spiritual words, but it's all the same. The thing then, whatever you want to call that thing, God, the divine, power and presence, works for us by working through us and is us always, right? It cannot work for us in any other way. It's not a Santa Claus power. It's not naughty or nice stuff. It spreads itself over the whole universe, this power, and shouts at us, all living beings, even the rocks, and the minerals and everything else. We just don't understand how they are used in that way, how they can use the power in their way. But it happens. It's something created. So it spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle, but it can become power to us only when we recognize it as power. We got to recognize this. And not just intellectually. We got to begin to turn the knowledge of our being, the intellect, the logic of this knowledge, into the action of our living. And in order to do this, we use our spiritual tools in conjunction with our personal development tools, right? We take action in mind and in body. And since all thought is creative, then our spiritual tools and our psychological tools are one. And why? Because thoughts are things. Or thoughts become things. However you want to say that. You know, it's interesting. Thoughts are things. A lot of people think that's a very modern term from, the last 25 or so years. But actually, a gentleman named Prentice Mulford coined that phrase in 1889. He wrote a book, Thoughts Are Things. James Allen used it in his New Thought books, and Ernest Holmes, of course, used it. Napoleon Hill talks about thoughts are things. And those who are fans of the TUT emails, TUT emails, Mike Dooley's organization, he says that all the time. Thoughts are things. Even F. Scott Fitzgerald, in a quote that I saw, used that phrase. Thoughts are things. There's this great song in the Unity religion by Sue K. Riley, and it goes something like this. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts that changes the things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thoughts. I have the power to change my life. Isn't that great? And they sing that. Some of the Unity churches sing that every week somewhere in the service. And I've spoken at a couple of Unity organizations over the years, and I hear this song, and it's very simple. It's kind of fun, up tempo, but it's so true. And they sing that every week and remind themselves every week that they, you, I have the power to change our lives, no matter if it's a new year, if it's a new month, a new day, or even a new second in your life. You have the ability and the power and the passion to change it. So here we are, 9 days into 2022. Made any resolutions? Completed any resolutions? Some maybe short term as far as needing time to complete it. Have you taken any action for any resolutions you might have made? And I know it's a process. You're going to tell me, but wait, it's a process. I can't just lose these pounds or a pound like that. I don't, maybe I've already put it in my date book the day I'm going to get organized. I've just started, but it's only 9 days. I don't quite see yet, the inevitable goodness of spending less and investing more, or enjoying my life to the fullest, or staying fit and healthy, or learning something new and exciting, or quitting smoking, or eating sugar, or whatever, or even helping others and their dreams. That's a resolution of some people. Or falling in love and finding that soulmate, or spending more time with family, especially if you've realized that you are spending so much time in your career that you're losing time with your loved ones. Those are many of resolutions that many people have started. Maybe you've started one. As you know, I'm not really big on resolutions. I'm not a big proponent of resolutions, not because of the word, because the definition of the word resolution is a firm decision to do or not do something. But the usual use of it is what I have a problem with, because people throw those resolutions away. And so they don't resolve. They use the word to describe something, but they don't use the word properly, because they are not resolved. They are not decided in having that experience come in their lives, or changing things in their lives so that experience shows up. In fact, in this week's article that I put out every week, Thursday or Friday, I wrote, I don't want to say resolutions are bad, but they tend to be pronouncements which, like too many mantras and affirmations and rosary bead prayers, just become words with no respect, no love, no feeling behind them. Or they're chock full of fear, which drowns those words like raid on a bug. That's what happens. That's what happens. We let resolutions go. We don't resolve to have that in our lives. And I'm not here to chastise anybody about making resolutions. I'm here to start a resolution revolution. A revolution which starts and ends in the only place it can, and that is in your mind. In using the divine matrix that I always talk about, which is your brain, your heart, brain, and your gut. That's your mind, your consciousness. Yes, you got to figure out the best actions to take. There's goals and steps and plans and lists and strategies and alliances to make. But the most important, the most powerful work happens in your mind. Not just your brain, in your mind. Now, there's 3 easy steps in the resolution revolution. They are who, what, and how. And when you have those solid, then supersonic strategies plus start showing up in your life. Now, the who we talked about earlier in the beginning of my talk. There is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being, and since it partakes of the nature of the divine being, we are divine. That's it. That's who we are. Who we are. We are a divine being in a human body expressing itself through this personality. In my case, through Jay. Now, the what has to do with your perspective, my perspective. What's your attitude, your thoughts, your feelings, or beliefs about life, about yourself, about your who, as well as about your profession, your actions, your perspective on how life works. Do you have the perspective of how life works that we talk about here? Now, the most common habit that slows our chances of moving forward, evolving into our greatness, is using the phrase, I'm fine. There's a phrase we got to get rid of. I'm fine. Now, I know that whole idea that the word fine could also mean exceptional, yes? But the phrase isn't. For some people, it is. For most people, when you say I'm fine, it's just an excuse. I'm fine. Don't bother me. I'm okay. But fine then, when we use it that way, fine then becomes a definition of mediocrity, of ordinariness, of being average or middling or middle of the road or uninspired. I'm fine. Undistinguished. I'm fine. Indifferent, unexceptional, unexciting, unremarkable, just run-of-the-mill kind of lackluster, forgettable, passable, okay. I'm fine. Most people don't use the I'm fine, like a fine wine, like the greatest example of this, that, or the other. Most people don't use the word fine in that way. I'm fine is like clicking the universal inner snooze button on your greatness, or sending your greatness to voicemail so that you can deal with it later, or not at all, or delete it or erase it. Prentice Mulford, in the book Thoughts Are Things, wrote, but no one experience should be followed and dwelt in forever. Life in its more perfected state will be full of alterations, not a rut into which, if you are once set, you must continually travel. Fine keeps you in that rut. How many years are you going to sit in a rut avoiding your purpose in life? What is your purpose in life? You get to decide that. Emerson wrote, the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Not necessarily to other people, but to yourself. What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that taste like, smell like? Living a life well lived. What you truly are, what you really are, is much more than fine. You are magnificent, automatically. You are automatically magnificent. I don't care what your personality is, what your supposed stance in society is, whether you sleep in a mansion or sleep in an alley, you are magnificent. And the quicker you realize that, the quicker you can change whatever it is you want to change in your thoughts and thus your life. So part 3, the how. The how, well, it's pretty simple. Let me give you an example. I was looking for an attorney once, and I called this law firm of Schwartz, 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 and Schwartz. And a woman answers, and she said, Schwartz, 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 and Schwartz. How may I help you? And I said, well, I'd like to speak to Mr. Schwartz. And she said, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Schwartz has gone to lunch. Won't be back till 3. Okay. I said, well, then may I speak to Mr. Schwartz? Because there's 4 of them, right? And she said, I'm sorry, Mr. Schwartz is in Boston trying a case. He won't be returning till Thursday. Okay, I figure there's 4 of them. I said, well, then, Mr. Schwartz, please. And she said, oh, I'm very sorry. Mr. Schwartz died a few years ago. He's no longer with the firm. Well, then I figured, well, I got 4. 3 out of 4 is not working, so how about the 4th guy? And I said, well, then, please let me talk to the last Schwartz on the list. And she said, speaking. So what's the lesson there? What was the lesson for me there? Be specific. Not specific in the minutia of how the experience shows up. We don't have to outline the steps for the universe. Well, those people in that house, they're going to move, and then I'm going to buy the house, and then I'm going to have that house, or whatever. Or some elaborate thing like the old man's golf ball story that was in the beginning of my talk. You don't have to worry about, well, the fish will get the ball and the eagle will get the fish and the lightning will hit the eagle and drop the fish, blah, 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 blah. What's the smell? That's how specific you want to be about the idea or the thing. What's the smell of it? What's the taste of it? What's it feel like to have that in my life? And take the but out of your mouth. The I'm fine has to go, unless you understand the concept of fine meaning superlative. But also take the but out of your mouth. Yeah, but I can't. Yeah, but I have no time. Yeah, but I wasn't brought up that way. Yeah, but. Take it out. Take the but out of your mouth. With the buts, once again, you're just hitting that snooze button and staying just fine. I'm just fine. I would do this, but I'm just fine. The not moving forward kind of fine. A but in the mouth is actually anatomically incorrect. So leave the buts where they belong, on your backside, behind you. In Wishes Fulfilled, Dr. Wayne Dyer tells us to figuratively tattoo the words of Neville onto our foreheads, memorize them, and repeat them to yourself every time you look in the mirror. And I would add, in your meditations as well, or in your prayers as well, use these words of Neville, or at least remember them or sneak them in there somewhere. He wrote, disregard appearances, conditions. In fact, all evidence of your senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. I'm going to repeat that. Disregard appearances, conditions, in fact, all evidence of the senses that deny the fulfillment of your desire. And then he goes on and says, rest in the assumption that you are already what you want to be. For in that determined assumption, you and your infinite being are merged in creative unity, and with your infinite being, God, the divine, etc., 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 all things are possible. And he ends this paragraph with, God never fails. Or as Gabby Bernstein wrote, God always has your back, or the universe has your back, is what she wrote. So I want to ask you to join the resolution revolution and work your tools. One, who you are. You are an individualization of the power and energy that made everything, the creative source of all. Number two, what you are. You're the one in charge of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. You're in charge. No one else is, unless you allow them. And number three, how to think. Not what to think, how to think. And you want to do that boldly, specifically, while embodying that who and that what. And let me add a fourth. Do it with gratitude and appreciation, because that's what your resolution should be. Something that you appreciate, something that you are grateful for having in your life right now. There's a power for good in the universe, and that power is in you right now. You're using it right now. You used it yesterday. You're going to use it tomorrow. So why not resolve and declare to intentionally use it constructively for your greatest good? Our theme this year, all year, we're going to be talking about it in different ways. Our theme for 2022 is communing with your greatness. Communing, vibrating at the speed of the divine, communing with your greatness. So I invite you to live in faith, be the greatness and magnificence you innately are. Deep inside, sometimes it seems, but it's there. Model the spiritual prototype or mental equivalent of what you have resolved to have in your life. Do you understand that? You want to model that. You want to be that. You want to take action as if. Just decide that's what it is. I have this in my life. When you create that mental equivalent, when you use your imagination to have in your mind what it smells like, feels like, tastes like, to be that in that experience, be that new perspective or attitude, then it starts to show up. And trust the process. Sometimes it's a process. Sometimes it'll take days, months, maybe even years. But be tenacious in your spiritual practice and action, and synchronize your heart, mind, and the intuition, imagination that is flowing through your gut. This divine matrix that I talk about. Ernest Holmes wrote, "The gardener goes forth in faith to sow his seeds. He has learned that as he sows, so shall he reap. That the law works the same for all alike." And he's talking about the law of cause and effect. You may think of it as the law of attraction, law of correspondence. There's lots of names for this law. He continues with, "We must accustom ourselves to the concept of the impersonalness of the law, the availability of the law, and the mechanical accuracy of the law. If we can conceive only a little good, that is as much as we can experience." We, each of us, are the gardener of our experience. What seeds do you want to plant in your mind? And how will you nourish those seeds to allow them to burgeon into the beauty that you envision, that you have decided to experience? This great song by Eddie Watkins Jr. And it goes like this. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. Close your eyes for me just for a second and listen as I remind each and every one of us these words. I choose my words carefully and with intention. I consciously speak the words of power, of meaning, of love, of gratitude, of forgiveness, and from knowing who I am. I speak these words loud and proud, bold and brave, and with the truth backing me up. I choose words of abundance and prosperity, vibrant health, creativity, and love. I do it now and forevermore. And so it is. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. It's such a beautiful garden. That garden is you. Resolve to work your spiritual tools as the divine being you are. Resolve to do it with love, respect, faith, appreciation, and gratitude. To boldly, bravely, and with the succulence of your innate and luscious star stuff, resolve to be it in your mind and allow it into your heart and imagine it through your gut so you can experience it in your life. Declare what it is you are going to have in 2022 and watch it show up. Thank you so much. Namaste. Yeah, that's another way you can pick up the Affirmative Incantation for the week is you can watch it on TikTok, because after this service, I go on TikTok and put up the Affirmative Incantation. So find me on TikTok. It's at the New Thought Guy on TikTok. But please like us, subscribe to us on YouTube, leave comments. We love comments. I'll answer them as I get to them. And we love to engage, so have at it. You'll see the production credits under me. I want to, of course, thank Steve Apperson, who's behind the to make our broadcast work and happen and be on time. Anything that's not on time is probably because of me. So I want to thank Steve. Of course, I like to do this every once in a while and verbally thank Josh Manley, my friend who goes by Josh Sterling in his music career, for allowing us every week to use that beautiful song. And you can find that song and all the other songs on that album at your favorite place, SoundCloud, et cetera, as it says in the beginning there. But thank you, Josh. I appreciate that song. I appreciate you. And we love that you're a part of us. Who else do I want to thank? Once again, I want to thank Reverend Gary and Barbara for holding the fort last week. I did watch from Mexico. We were in Mexico. I watched and had a great time. You might have seen, if you were watching, you might have seen me say hi. But I wasn't sure about the internet there, et cetera, and so I thought it would be best for you to enjoy Reverends Gary and Barbara for a whole hour. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you all next week, of course. So let us end with a treatment. Then after the treatment, there's going to be a song. And those of you who are watching later may not get to see the song because I don't own the copyright to this particular song, but I like it. And so sometimes whoever owns the copyright doesn't allow it to stay on the broadcast in the recording part. But you'll see it live if you're here with us now. And that'll be Katie Tiz, her song, Whistle While You Work It. It's a great song. So until we get to that, let us know this together. Close your eyes and know, hey, do this with me. Rub your hands together. Yeah. Rub it now. Let it stop and let it go. And as you close your eyes, feel that energy between your hands, knowing that is divine energy. That is the energy of life, of star stuff. And we vibrate at the speed of this energy at all times. That is the resolution we make. That is the declaration we make. We are revealing that divine stuff that we are. We are revealing that in every thought and every feeling and every word that we speak. And in so doing, each and every one of us, I bring forth into my life that which I have decided, I have resolved to have. We have resolved to revolutionize resolutions, knowing that resolutions are definitive decisions. Resolutions aren't to be made, but to be done. And we do them with our greatest ability, that divine vibration going through us. And it may not be immediate, it may be days, months away, but it is done. It is done in mind, and then it is done in action, and then it is experienced immediately when all those come together. So each and every one of us in this resolution revolution brings forth into our lives, through our mind and through our actions, that which we have decided to create, that which we have decided to have in 2022. It is done. It is done in beauty and grace and love, divine intelligence is here right now, showing us the way, inspiring us, motivating each and every one of us. So with grace and appreciation and gratitude, I release this word, ending this Sunday celebration with joy and music, divine love, vibrating, loving life, and being our magnificent self. As together we say, and so it is. Hallelujah. Amen. Omein. Ashe. Have a most fabulous week. Thank you so much. Namaste.
My day one rule is keeping my cool, even if I'm broken. If you blow my high, you won't see me cry. Gotta whistle while you work it. That's why you gotta never let them see you down, see you.
What?